Hi everyone, my name is Arielle and welcome back to my channel. It has been a little while and I have some news. I don't think it's any great mystery because of the title of this video. So I'm pregnant, yay! I'm really excited about this new chapter. Both Sam and I are really looking forward to all of these exciting things on the horizon. But yeah, a lot has shifted since I last had a sit down chat with you guys. We made the announcement over on Instagram actually a couple of weeks ago, but I've just been kind of enjoying the little break from making videos just because there's just so much now going on in our world to get ready for this new chapter. But I did a Q&A yesterday and I got so many questions related to the pregnancy and this next chapter of life that I thought it would be fun to jump over here and make the announcement to all of you over on YouTube and answer some of these really common questions. I'm hoping to make this pretty short and sweet, and I'm also going to put timestamps in the description box below if you're curious about certain things and feel like skipping over answers to other questions. So let's jump in. Okay, so the first question, when are you due and how are you feeling? I am 19 weeks pregnant. I am due mid-June and I'm feeling pretty good. I'm in my second trimester now. And so a lot of the first trimester stuff has settled down. Although to be honest, my first trimester wasn't too bad. Little bit of nausea here and there, definitely a lot more tired than I would be normally. Like when we were in Australia and New Zealand, I did find that we had to tone down our expectations of a lot of things that I had originally planned, but still felt like pretty good, which I feel really fortunate about. Right now I'm just really busy, just trying to get life organized and create some space for our new family member. Are you going to find out the gender? We know the gender, and I'm not gonna make you guys wait for it. I will announce it in this video, but I think it could be fun just to see if you can guess. So throw your guess in the comments below. Do you think it's a boy or a girl? And I will answer at the end of this video. So what I think is probably the most burning question on everybody's mind is, were you pregnant while hiking the PCT? Especially if you think about 19 weeks and you do the math and go backwards, you might be like, hey, that's while you were on trail, isn't it? But no, I was not pregnant while hiking the PCT. This is something I actually didn't know until I got pregnant. But when they're counting the weeks for your pregnancy, they don't actually count the weeks starting when you conceive. They start the weeks counting on the first day of your last period. So we did conceive after I finished the trail, but the first day of my last period was on trail. So technically my weeks of being pregnant start back on trail, but I wasn't actually pregnant yet, if that makes sense. Was it an intentional choice to hike the PCT before trying to conceive? Totally. Obviously you can do through hikes after you have kids. There were definitely people we met out there on the trail, either with their kids, although that was much fewer and far between, or who have kids back home. But most of the time those kids were a lot older. So I just think it becomes a lot more complicated. And this was a personal goal that I had for myself, you know, through hiking the PCT. And I really did want to do it before I had, you know, a family, just because it was, you know, like an opportunity to focus on something that's maybe a little bit more selfish or self-oriented. And then once it's crossed off, you know, even like having it crossed off, I immediately feel more open and ready for kind of taking on that next chapter of life. Were you trying for kids as soon as you got back from the PCT? The honest answer is no, we were not trying. To be fair, I spent the better part of 5 months away from my husband. So am I surprised that we got pregnant? Like pretty much right away after me getting home? No, but it definitely wasn't planned. Originally, we had plans of maybe even waiting a couple of years before we decided to have kids. Have you always wanted kids, and how do you foresee this changing your outdoorsy lifestyle? I've always pictured myself having at least one child, but I would say like that maybe I wasn't as strongly attached to that as other people maybe. And what I mean by that is just, you know, there's some people who they know for sure, like deep down in their bones that you want to be a parent and they dream of that. And I actually feel like I maybe could have been okay either way. Like, if I ended up with a partner who didn't want kids, I don't know if that would have been a deal breaker for me. But I will say when things did really shift for me into like, yes, for sure, it's something I do want, is when I started dating my husband like 7.5 years ago. Wow, we've been together a while. But yeah, that's when things really shifted for me. He's always pictured himself with kids, and he's so great with kids. And just, yeah, ever since our relationship started, I realized it was something that I really want, because it's something that I really want with him. And so I'm super excited about our future. And as far as how it'll affect our outdoorsy lifestyle, I mean, obviously things are going to shift, but my hope is to continue doing all the things that we love and just include our family in that. Obviously, I don't want to force anything on anyone, but I feel really grateful that I was exposed to the outdoors at a young age. It didn't quite catch for me until a bit later in life. But yeah, we'll see. My intention is just to take the things that we love, like hiking and climbing and all these things, and eventually have them become family adventures. Probably gonna try to get another seat installed in the van so we can put a car seat and everything in there, and just like keep the outdoor adventures rolling. How did you know when the time felt right to get pregnant, or like know that you're ready? I don't know if I'm the best person to answer this, because I wouldn't say that we were necessarily ready or planning. Our original plan, like I said earlier, was actually to wait a couple of years. My intention was to come home from the trail, finish school, get my health kind of back in order, and like those sorts of things. And then a couple of years down the road, start trying to have kids. But at the end of the day, I feel like what most people say is you're never really ready. And we 100% know that this is something we want in our life. So we're rolling with it and letting ourselves get really excited along the way. So I don't know if that answers your question, but being an outdoorsy person, are you feeling held back or just letting it flow? Oh, I don't know. I mean, I've definitely been toning things down a bit. Like I said, in the first trimester, I definitely couldn't do quite as big of like hikes and endeavors as I had originally imagined us doing over in New Zealand. I am not riding park, and I'm not like pushing myself quite as hard when I go ski touring, kind of sticking to more mellow terrain that's just like fun and easy for Tabor and I. But I wouldn't say I feel held back. I mean, it's just a different chapter, and I've been through a lot of different things with my health over the years where like my intensity towards all the activities that I've done has kind of ebbed and flowed. And I feel okay with the fact that maybe this might not be my most extreme year of activities, because there will be plenty of time for it to come back around, if that makes sense. So I am kind of just going with the flow then, and just, marveling at how freaking incredible and cool and crazy it is to grow a human being, because it's pretty wild. This is a good question. Will you teach your child to ski or snowboard first? This is tough. As most of you guys know, I ski and snowboard. I grew up competing in snowboarding, so I'm much better at it, but have been doing a lot of skiing in recent years just because for touring, like ski touring, it's a little bit easier and simpler setup. My husband is a big skier. He grew up competing in freestyle and skiing, which is kind of like how we knew each other really, through that world. That's a toughie. Okay, so here's what I'll say. My understanding is it's easier biomechanically to teach a kid how to ski. Like they can kind of get that, those movements at a younger age. Snowboarding is a little bit more challenging, but I've been seeing lots of little tiny tots on the internet snowboarding at like super young ages. So I don't know, it's really hard to say now until we get to that chapter, but I think what we'll probably end up doing is maybe trying a little of both and just seeing which they prefer, but yeah, I love that question, and only time will tell. I guess we will see. Any potential baby names? Yes, I think we have the name that we're going to stick with, but we still have a bit of time, and I think we just want to give ourselves space to see if anything else comes up. So I'll just give you the initials, and I guess we'll see when the actual time comes if that's the name we end up choosing. So the initials, that we are looking at would be RJF. F is for Ferguson, my husband's last name. Any complications with Hashimoto's and pregnancy? Okay, so a lot of you know this. I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune thyroid condition, like 5.5 years ago now, and have been mitigating all of my stuff with just lifestyle changes and nutrition, things like that. It's really been like what inspired me to go back to school for nutrition, all those sorts of things. I knew that, or I guess I felt pretty confident that after the PCT, my thyroid might need a little bit of love, because eating like a dumpster for 5 months and then like really pushing yourself beyond the point of exhaustion every single day are two things that don't really help your thyroid. So my plan getting back from the trail was to take a little bit of time to, do all the things that I know have helped me in the past. But I got pregnant literally right away. And in my first round of blood work, when I first went to the doctor, my TSH number was a little bit high. My actual thyroid numbers are actually still in normal range, which is awesome and really exciting. But TSH is kind of an indicator that your thyroid might be working extra hard. And so that number was a little bit high. So I did start for the first time a super, super, super low dose of levothyroxine, like literally the lowest dose you can. It's like 25 micrograms because having a properly functioning thyroid for pregnancy is so essential. And while all the holistic things have really worked well for me in the past, they take time. And yeah, I read the research and it just, it didn't feel worth the risk. So I did start that. My hope is that maybe down the road, when I'm done breastfeeding, that I can make my way back off of that medication. But I'm just kind of rolling it with it right now because, the health of the baby is the most important thing. Okay, last question, and then the gender reveal. What are you looking forward to most in motherhood? I love this question. I feel like I'm looking forward to a lot of things. Just being able to be witness to a human being growing into themselves sounds absolutely incredible. I think as far as like my own interplay in that situation, I'm really looking forward to being able to take my love and passion for the outdoors and these, activities that bring me so much joy and to share those with a tiny person and, see how it shapes their being and existence and who they grow into, if that makes sense. So yeah, just really excited to share the love of these things that have really meant so much to me in my own life. Okay, the big moment is here. If you haven't already written your guess for the gender down in the comments below, this is your last moment to put your guess out there in the world. Drum roll. We're having a girl. We've actually known for a little while. We did all the genetic testing and everything like that, and we got those results back almost 6 weeks ago. But yeah, super excited. Obviously, we would be excited either way, but yeah, that's all I have for you in this video. Thank you for coming along for the journey. If there's any questions that you have for me about the pregnancy or about this next chapter of life that I didn't answer in this video, you're more than welcome to throw it down in the comments below. And as always, if you liked this video or you want to support me on my journey, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Come along for this next chapter of the adventures. And while I normally end these videos saying that I will see you next Sunday or see you next week, I am still in a very busy chapter of life, so I do plan on getting back into posting videos regularly, but I am not going to make the commitment to posting one a week just yet, and I may actually start to sprinkle them in on different days. Like obviously I'm posting this on a Thursday, so just stay plugged in. If you don't already, turn on that little notification bell and it will let you know when I posted. But other than that, I will see you in the next video.